What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. And I got some thoughts I want to share. Right? How many of y'all remember the movie Home Alone? Right? The movie Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin and all that stuff. I think they made like 3 or 4 of them, right? Now, many people remember that movie, and some don't. You know, it was out in the early 90s. You know, it was out a long time ago. But I want to talk about how horrible that movie was, or that movie franchise was. And this is what I mean. I don't mean it was horrible in terms of, you know, it was funny and all that stuff. It was a very funny movie. Home Alone 2 is actually one of my favorite movies. It made me laugh all the time. Home Alone Lost in New York, I laugh all the time. But overall, that movie, or that movie franchise was absolutely horrible. Here's why. For those who don't know, it's called Home Alone because it centers around this boy named Kevin, right? I forgot his last name, or his family last name. It's about a boy named Kevin, who's a very, let's you say, energetic, you know. The boy got anger issues. And he has anger issues because his family are simply some jerks. That's basically it. His family's some jerks. His family's some jerks, right? They treat him like crap. Like, I think the first Home Alone, I think it's the first or second Home Alone, one of the two. Like, the thing is, they're always going on trips. That's the thing. The family's always going on trips. They're always planning, you know, trips to go somewhere. And, you know, apparently they're well off because, first of all, I don't know what the father does, because the father's usually the one who's paying for the trips for, you know, where he takes the whole family, the uncles, the aunts, the cousins, the brothers, the sisters, all that, right? So apparently the father got some bread, and they live in Chicago, in a wealthy part of Chicago, but we don't know what the father does. Okay? So they go to their trip, and somehow, some way, they forget about Kevin. Right? They forget about Kevin. And when they forget about Kevin, he's left somewhere. You know, and there's always some trouble because there's always these two thieves, right? These two thieves that want to rob them. And Kevin finds a way to stop them. And that right there is where the comedy comes in. It's when he is finding ways to stop the two thieves. Here's the problem. It's not until the parents are either on the plane to their destination or they're already at their destination where they remember, oh crap, where's Kevin? Right? They leave Kevin home alone. The first one. They leave him home alone, literally. They left him by himself at home. The second Home Alone movie was called Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. That's my favorite one. Where they go, they go overseas. I think they go to France. I don't know. I think they go to France or something like that. I think they travel out of the country this time on the second one. And they leave him in New York City by himself. And once again, those same two thieves are in New York. And then the comedy ensues once again. I love the second one. Now, I know they made a third one. And I heard they made a fourth one. I'm not sure if they made a fourth one, but I know they made a third one. They got a different kid for the third one. It's not Macaulay Culkin. They got a different kid for the third one. Right? Here's the problem. There's so much wrong with that movie. Play this. You know full well, you know for a fact, Home Alone 2 couldn't have been a black family. Couldn't have been a black family. Let Kevin be a little black boy. Let Kevin's parents go to a trip out of the states or out of the country, and they leave Kevin. You know for a fact, before the first scene was to go, CPS at their door, and they snatching Kevin up. Do you know how much bad parenting is in that movie? It is some of the worst parenting ever. Ever, 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 ever. Like, they left Kevin 4 times. I want to say 3. I swear I think it's only 3 movies. But anyway, they left Kevin by himself at least 3 different times. 3 different times. What family do you know will leave their child by themselves? Remember, Kevin was a minor. Kevin wasn't like, he's 16 or 18, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. No. Kevin was a minor. He looked like he's about maybe 12 or like 11 or 12. In the movie, it looks like Kevin portrays maybe 11 or 12-year-old. So he's 11 or 12 years old, being left alone at least on 3 different occasions. You name me one black family that can leave their minor child by themselves on 3 different occasions, and that black family still had their child. I've read stories of a black mother getting arrested because she left her minor child, in the car with the window cracked while she goes on a 30-minute job interview. They took her child. Yet, there have been 3 movies made where a whole family, like, Kevin's family is a large family. He has a large family in the movie. He has cousins. He got one cousin always peed on themselves. He got one, I think it's an older brother or older cousin. I think it's an older brother who's an absolute jerk. His uncle is an absolute jerk. His aunt, pretty nice. But the majority of Kevin's family treated Kevin like shit. And because they kept dogging him like that, they always thought Kevin was a problem child. No, Kevin wasn't a problem child. His family was some jerks. And he wasn't taking it from them. So first of all, you got a family who can be considered abusers in a mental sense, like mental abuse, like bullying. Like, his whole family bullied him through the whole movie, except for the time where they finally found him, and he reconnects with his family, and all his cousins like, oh, welcome back, Kevin. But in the beginning of the movie, his family bullied him to the point where he physically fought his family. He physically fought his family because they bullied him, and he wasn't taking it. That's one bad part. Then they leave him. Keep that in mind. The family always bullies him first. Then they leave him home alone. What family you know? What family you know today can do that, and they still have their child? Like I said, that couldn't have been a black family. Home Alone could not have been a black family. There's no way possible Home Alone could have been a black family and it'd be believable. Keep in mind, it wasn't believable then, but it worked. I mean, during that time, Home Alone worked. It worked. Like, 3 different times. First, they left him in Chicago where they live. The second one, they left him in New York. The third one, I'm not quite sure where they left him, because after the first 2 movies, the third one was kind of was some trash. So I've never seen the full Home Alone. I should have watched the full Home Alone 3 movies to see what it's like. But I know the basic premise. I know I know the idea of it, so I know what's going to happen. It's basically predictable. It's just the comedy is where the fun is. But the movie is pretty much predictable. But yeah, like, if that was a black family, whether they be affluent or not, and they were to leave their minor child home alone for one day, if they do that for one day, if a black family were to leave their minor child home alone, whether it be in New York or in Chicago or DC or Atlanta, wherever, for one day, I promise you, that black family will not have their child again. It will be on the news. Child Protection Services had to rescue a child for child neglect. Like, that's child neglect. That movie made millions of dollars off of child neglect. Like, that's crazy. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. Like, that just bugged me out. Anyway, hope y'all enjoy this. Leave a comment down below, like, comment, subscribe, and share, all that good stuff. I'll catch you all later. Peace.